listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to Flush Your Fat for Good, to be lean and healthy for life. My name is Jackie Paget Baird.
And I'm Dr. Vicky Arcady.
And we got a bunch of stuff we want to talk to you about. If you saw our post on the Facebook page, it says, "What the heck are glycans?"
Very interesting.
Just want to let you know that before we get into that, we are a lifestyle for a lifetime. This is not a diet. We have developed a program that you do until you take your last breath so that you can be lean, healthy, energetic, and feel amazing. So whatever age you want to be that you die, you feel good all the way up to that. So die of old age, shot by a jealous lover, it's up to you. So we have a book, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. Yes, ma'am. We're excited. It was just published, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But the one thing that is extremely important with our lifestyle is supplementing, which the real word is to nutrify, and it's an actual word. It's in the dictionary.
It's one of our pillars.
Yeah, it's one of
Pillar
our
number
pillars.
4.
We have 8 pillars, and it's one of our pillars. Nutrify, and you can look it up, but it's to nutritionalize yourself, your body, your cells. And supplementation is essential, especially when you're doing our lifestyle, because it's for safe, rapid fat loss. When, a lot of people, I've talked over the weekend, and I was at, where there was a gathering, and they were asking me about our Flush Your Fat for Good, and I said, well, there's no more cravings. You don't crave sugar, starches, you sleep deeply, you think sharper, you have better digestion, absorption, and elimination.
Pooping up to 4 times a day.
4 times a day. That's
at least 3. We want you to go at least 3 times a day.
I said that the other day. I said, yeah, how many bowel movements do you have? I have at least one. And
one a week.
I said,
don't be surprised.
No, we've had that. And I said, no, we want you to have 4. What? So, yeah, this is, we talk about things that you don't hear anywhere else, because what you experience, not only with all those goodies I just told you about, no cravings, you don't crave sugar, starches, you sleep better, you think better, you have better digestion, absorption, and elimination, your moods are better. Your moods are really good.
You're healthier.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
Your lab values change because you're healthier and nutrifying yourself and eating well.
Yeah, and you can see that on our website, flushyourfatforgood.com, the before and afters and the stories.
Amazing.
But it's safe, rapid fat loss. So when that takes place, we need, because of what takes place in the body when you lose body fat and the toxins harbor in the body fat, then that's going to have to, it opens up, your cells open up like this, and the toxins come out, and it's going to congest your liver, it's going to wreak havoc, it's going to make you not feel good, it's going to give you some bowel issues, things like this. But if you're on the proper supplements that will support your immune system, your defense system, your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, those are your involuntary body parts, like breathing, your blood flow, your intestinal tract, things like this, your hormones, your endocrine system, things like this. When you have real good, healthy support while you're eating a specific way based on biochemistry and physiology, you have safe, rapid fat loss. But the one thing that nobody talks about, and you'll never hear it from a diet plan.
Never.
And when they say, oh, you must supplement if you go on a diet, but their supplements are all synthetic.
Right.
So you've got synthetic, means they're made in a lab, And they
usually B vitamins, and those are made from petroleum.
Right.
That's why they smell so badly.
And you see your color of your urine
And
is
people
always...
get sick on them.
Yeah, they make you want to like belch and throw up.
Nauseous.
Yeah.
Because it's petroleum.
Because coal tar, rocks, and petroleum doesn't do a body good.
Yeah.
So we always talk about real food supplementation and the technology of specific supplements that your body will recognize as a food source, not as a toxin, so to speak. It can trick the body at first when you take synthetics, and then after that, it wears the body down and you become deficient. So, Dr. Vicki, on her Did You Know That, is going to teach you something that you don't know, and most likely you won't learn from anyone else.
Take it away.
That's a drum roll.
Okay, well, I wanted to talk to you, we're going to talk about glycans, but I wanted to talk to you about the science involved. And this is about the science of glycobiology. And glycobiology, you know what, I couldn't find the exact date of creation of the first glycobiologist or any of that, but there were many, many scientists who specialized in carbohydrate technology. Glyco means sugar. Biology means function and study of the functions. So glycobiology has to do with sugars. So you're saying, okay, but you guys don't do sugar.
Right.
This is the study of natural plant sugars found in our foods. It's all about food.
We get that question all the time. Sugars that heal, not sugars that kill.
So here was a textbook. When I was in chiropractic school, way back when, in the 80s, late 80s, we studied biochemistry, but we didn't really study glycobiology. We learned about two of the sugars, glucose and galactose, but that was about it. The others were not known as yet, and this was in the 80s. But then a book came out, Essentials of Glycobiology, and this is one of many textbooks, but this one came out in 1999. So that's when we were involved with supplementing and working with them in 1996.
1996.
1996.
Mm-hmm.
So glycobiology was a science that really took off like gangbusters because it is a science of, it's a science whereby you're studying food, plant, what are in the plants, the carbohydrates in the plants that are, have a function on every cell in the body. And we wanted to talk today about glycans. So I wanted to read the definition of glycans so you know what they are. So here it is. Okay, a glycan is a generic term for any sugar or assembly of sugars in free form or attached to another molecule, used interchangeably in this book with saccharide or carbohydrate. So the sugar is not a disaccharide like a sugar. We're talking about sugars from plants. Okay, for example, aloe vera has the sugar mannose. Okay, and the glucose is usually from beet sugar, so it's usually from beet. But these are, these are sugars that you don't think about. There's sugars in seaweed, there's sugars in roots, there's sugars in berries, there's sugars in various plants that we don't eat anymore. We just don't even see them in our markets anymore. So what happened was, over the generations as we urbanized, we started to lose our ability to eat all these glycos, all these glycans, all these sugars from plants. And the body knows what they are because they're plants, right? They're plants. So it's not something that our body doesn't recognize. It's something that was put on the planet.
Right.
And they're still here. We just don't see them in our food chain.
Because it's in food.
Right. So here's from our book. I'm going to read. We use what we call Glyconutrient or Glycans supplement. And I'm going to read from our book. A Glyconutrients Glycan supplement is highly recommended. Good cell-to-cell communication and cell-to-cell recognition is mandatory for your body's needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you some pictures in a minute. Scientists have discovered that cell-cell communication and cell-cell recognition occur on the surface of cells. Every cell, by the way. The surface of every cell in your body is covered in hair-like structures called glycans, which are chains of sugars that are linked to molecules such as specific proteins. And when they're linked to proteins, they're called glycoproteins. There are hundreds of different glycans on our cells, each with its own function. They are used for recognition, identification, and communication. Many functions in the body, including how the sperm attaches to the egg.
Yeah, baby.
Excuse me. How much infertility do we see
A lot.
today?
Even the late 20-year-olds are going to their fertility specialists.
The sperm attaching to the egg is dependent upon proper cell-cell communication and recognition. Immune cells, for example, will identify harmful viruses and bacteria and attach to them, often via glycans. Then the immune cells will hopefully make sure that the invaders are destroyed. Our cells can also recognize hormones, again, often via glycans, and respond accordingly. 8 sugars make up many of the glycans found in humans.
Mm-hmm.
Slide number 1, please. Sam is our engineer, our owner.
Connoisseur.
He's the boss. One of these is glucose, which you can see here, Jack. Glucose. Okay, one of these is glucose, which is, of course, is present in abundance in our diets. Some nutritionists claim that our modern-day diet supplies only limited amounts of some of the 7 other sugars. Okay, so we have glucose, galactose, fucose, not fructose. It's fucose.
Yeah, people get that mixed up.
Fucose is found in foods like wisteria, jack bean.
Bladderwrack.
Did you have a bowl of jack beans today?
No, but I had bladderwrack. Not
Great. Mannose, we talked about for mallow as a source, and also mushrooms. N-acetyl-neuraminic acid, xylose, N-acetylglucosamine, and acetylgalactosamine. These are the 8 essential sugars, or glycans, or monosaccharides, or saccharides. Okay, there's various different names, but they all say the same thing. These all of them we don't readily see every day in our diets, but we want to supplement, which is what we recommend when we Nutrify, to help our bodies make the ones that we need. If we supplement with these and the others that are in the supplement, it's not just the 8, there's hundreds probably in the supplement. But what you want to do is you want to supply what's missing so that your body can make what it needs, when it needs it. Now, slide number 2, please, Sam. You're going to see how important these sugars are. The slide shows a human blood groups. The top one is O. Okay, we know that's the universal donor, right? Anybody with O can donate blood. Now look at blood type A in the middle there, the next one. What's the difference?
That's me.
1 sugar. What happens if you give someone the wrong blood type?
Not good.
You could die. I mean, it's not a good ending.
No.
Okay. So it's N-acetylgalactosamine is hooked on to the blood type O to make blood type A. Now the next one, the lower one, is blood type B. And galactose, instead of N-acetylgalactosamine, is added to that blood type. So you have basically the blood type O plus the different sugars for blood type A and blood type B. That is how important these glycans are. They are so important. Okay, so can I have slide number 3, please, Sam? You can see on slide number 3, this is what I was just reading in our book, the membrane structure. And you'll see sticking straight up, it says glycoproteins. Remember, it's the glycan plus the amino acid or the protein down below on the surface of the cell. You're looking at the surface of the cell that's cut. So you're seeing the layer. It's a large lipid fat layer, okay? Glycoproteins play an important role in cellular recognition and immune responses. We just talked about that. They help stabilize the membrane structure, adhesion between cells. So these glycoproteins touch the other cells and they communicate. If you don't have optimal communication, it's like trying to tell me what you had for lunch without using vowels.
Right.
Tell whoever's in the room with you what you had for lunch without using a vowel. Any vowel. A, E, I, O, U. It can't be done.
Mm-mm.
And that's what happens in the body when you don't have all the nutrients you need available for your body to work properly. Cellular communication, you know this. Like Cool Hand Luke.
Mm-hmm. What we have here is a failure to communicate.
So what you're looking at is actually could be a serious and number one cause of disease in your body if you fit the bill for autoimmune or for immune function disorders, because if you don't have the cellular communication, it's not going to work. The other thing is these glycoproteins, and slide number 4, please, Sam. You're going to see a beautiful picture that Jackie insisted we have. But you can see it's a beautiful picture of, you see these glycoproteins all on the surface of the cells, and there's tons of them, okay? They're all over the surface of every single cell. And we have a dear friend, longtime friend, who's a microbiologist.
And a glycobiologist.
And she worked on, at Scripps, during the time where this was really hot and developing, and that was in the 90s. And she was working on a $32 million grant that was given to Scripps College. And she had to look at these glycans and evaluate them for certain situations, certain diseases, certain whatever. And she just came back to us and she says, you guys, every function in the human body depends on these monosaccharides, these glycans, these saccharides. She goes, every single function. That's it. She says, I rest my case.
Yeah.
So we wanted you to know why we recommend the Glyconutrients and the Glycans supplement, because we want to cover your bases. If you're losing fat, if you're just, if you're stressed, if you're losing fat, if you're whatever, if you're under a challenge, if you're losing fat, your body is absolutely under a challenge. So you have to support every function in the body.
Right.
And the way that happens is through these glycoproteins. They go inside the cell. The messages are received, and it goes inside the cell. The glycoproteins alert the immune cells. Everything works in conjunction with this communication line. Now, in the 80s, we used a lot of amino acids. We thought that the amino acids, early 80s and late 70s, we thought the amino acids were for cellular communication, but we came to find out through the glycobiology and the carbohydrate studies that it's really the glycoproteins. It's the sugar part, which comes from food. Also, the amino part, the protein part, comes from food too.
Well, and the thing is, it's a gargantuan task for them to see the coatings, its capacity
right.
of these saccharides when
right.
they sit on the edge of the cell. When you have amino acids, it's something like, 45 pathways. But with these sugars that sit on the amino acids, the glycoproteins, that's an unsurpassed coating capacity. They haven't even figured that out. But they are making better drugs utilizing these saccharides as well.
Exactly. They're trying to synthesize them. That's how important they are. There are drug companies out there trying to synthesize them. and they're trying to treat diseases like cancer and stuff.
Right.
And I've been following them, and they're not getting off the ground because it's a food. It's really just.
Well, they're going to make it synthetic.
They're going to make it synthetic as a treatment.
But they are making some headway. But the bottom line is,
Yes.
we don't want to get ourselves to that point, or we want to be able to supplement with tools that can help our body to not only do the cell-to-cell communication, like, defend me, regulate me, feed me. On the feed me part,
repair me, cleanse me, That goes
scratch
with
my back.
No, that goes with flush your fat for good. You're going
Right.
to be flushing your fat cells, and everything the toxicity that is released has to be handled by the liver cells, has to be handled by the kidney cells. That's why we do the cranberry to help flush. But meanwhile, the cells are having to process this to work fine, to get the hormones to work properly, to adjust the hormones down to normal levels, to get the blood sugars handled properly. Every cell depends on the communication lines.
And the one thing I want to emphasize with Flush Your Fat for Good is because this is an eating lifestyle program.
Correct.
So that you learn how to feed yourself. We're not your gurus, we're your guides. But without the support of your cells, cell-to-cell communication is extremely important for your immune system. But cell-to-cell recognition, that means the cell has to recognize the nutrition
exactly
as what it is and to bring it in.
The food,
Right.
that when it's broken down, it has to recognize what those molecules are that are broken down, those parts. It has to recognize, if you take a supplement, your cells have to recognize the supplement.
Well, and let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, we masticate our foods, right? We've got
Correct.
salivary glands.
Yes.
That's why God gave us teeth. Okay, then we swallow. It goes in, and it's going to be digested with digestive enzymes.
Yes.
Okay, follow me. So now, once it's digested, it's going to go into your small intestines where the probiotics, that's why we take probiotics, the good bacteroides in there, suck out all the nutrients from that food you just ate and digested, and take all the incredible nutrition that's going to go through the walls of your gut. You have villi hairs and you have mucosal cells, and it's going to go all through that, and that's going to go into your bloodstream to deliver all over your body, your brain, your down into your heart, your lungs, your adrenals, your pancreas, your whatever, where you need it for your bone, hair, blood, whatever. But if the cells do not and cannot recognize this nutrition properly, it can't bring it in. And if it does bring it in, then it speeds up the mitochondria to burn the fat because it gives you energy. So it's really, when this whole lifestyle was put together, it wasn't just thought up on a Saturday, Sunday. It was really put together with 60 years combined knowledge of Dr. Vicki and myself. And as you read in the book, you realize that when I was really went through a devastating time in my life with my family, and when everything was cleared up, I took one look at myself and I realized I had been stressed. I had not been eating for a while because of what I had to accomplish to save a family member. And when I finally was able to sleep through the night knowing everything was okay, I woke up and I saw myself 45 pounds heavier, and I'm like, oh, hell no. What? I'm looking at
That's
myself
a shock.
and I'm like, because all my time and attention was put on an issue that was very stressful.
Yeah.
So when that happens, I, erratic eating and not eating.
Yes, not
when
eat.
you don't
didn't
eat. Right.
You did not eat.
Because your body thinks you're dying, it's going to put reserves on.
And slow the metabolism down to nothing.
This went on for a long time, to the point where when I was able to sleep through the night and wake up and I took one look at myself, that's when I knew I was in trouble, and this is it. I want to get this fat off like yesterday. And that's when Spirit came to me and told me, you know what to do. And in my brain, the whole thing was downloaded, and I went ahead and started to do it. And it was extremely effective for safe, rapid fat loss, because I knew the supplements to put together to support the liver, to support the kidneys, to support the adrenals, to support the metabolism, to support the blood sugar, to support the the digestive tract. I knew all of that, to do that, and then to eat a certain way. It all came together. So when we talk about, especially in the book on the chapter Nutrify, this is not like a fly-by-night thing where you just, take some vitamins and, glyconutrients, I don't need that. I get plenty of sugar.
Yeah.
No, it's not about that. This is all scientifically based. And these saccharides were being tested in many situations in the 80s. But the amino acids were going through, but towards the late of the 80s, they were starting to utilize it on some very serious health conditions. And then in the 90s is when it started.
Took off.
Right, but in Harper's Biochemistry, that's when it came out in 1994, I believe.
Now, we don't mandate that you Nutrify. It's one of the pillars, so we highly recommend it. But we do encourage you to look at it seriously. Some people don't feel that supplementation is worthy, or that it's expensive urine. Well, that when you say expensive urine, you're talking about synthetics, because it is synthetic urine. It does not. I saw them on X-rays. I saw them in the colon. The tablets weren't even touched. They looked the same way as they went in the mouth. Okay, we saw them all the time when I was in chiropractic school.
We have a friend that she was telling us about her friend who cleans out the Johnny dumps, or Johnny, what are they called? The bathrooms?
Yeah.
Johnny bathrooms.
I'll think of
Johnny's bathroom. You don't want to clean up Johnny's bathroom.
We don't know about
you know the Johnny whatevers they are, and they're on construction sites. Yeah. They're all over. They're at parks and blah blah blah. But
Andy Dump. It's Andy, not Johnny.
Oh, I'm sorry, John.
Johnny's gonna whip you.
I know. I'm sorry, Johnny.
You know what?
But how'd you like to be named after a toilet?
Andy. I had an uncle Andy. Anyways.
What I was going to say is he would talk about how he had to clean out
the nutrients
that
were not dissolved.
The vitamins and minerals that were in these containers, where people would go to the bathroom and they were just hard little rocks.
We do, we recommend, we can get into that another time, but the one, you should always be on a multiple vitamin and mineral, a food source. And it should all be from foods, whole foods. There's no reason now. There's many of them. There's no reason why you shouldn't be on them. Even back in the 80s, when I read some studies where they were doing diets, writing up their diet studies, they would supplement. But those supplements were synthetic, and they used B vitamins, which are from petroleum, and they used sometimes just Bs, but they usually had them on a supplement, which is a multiple. And even some of the ones you see today on the commercials, they recommend a supplement, but they're not whole food.
No, but really the purpose of teaching you guys about glycans and glyconutrients, not every company has them.
No one talks about them.
They don't talk about them.
Nobody talks about them.
Especially on any of the diet programs. But it's up to you guys to seek out the best company that has the glyconutrients, like a complex, so that you get them all at once. Don't try to do one at a time.
And just so you know, we've been on them 20 years, and she's
I'm 92.
Yeah, she's 92, and I'm 85.
But that is
she's
something
a lot older than me.
Here's one thing I want to share with everybody. We just got a report on the news. Typhus Typhus is everywhere, and it's now.
Really? I didn't hear that.
Yep, and measles, certain kind of
measles are here, yeah. Again.
Certain things are happening in our country that, illnesses are devastating, and the typhus that was way back has come back. And my point in saying this is that if Glycans and Glyconutrients are a great supplement that's non-toxic at any level, and it assists your body in supporting the immune system for communication and recognition, that to me is worth anything.
Okay, watch this.
Okay.
At least 6 of the glycans or sugars or saccharides are in breast milk.
End of story.
Human breast milk has these sugars. Why? Because, as you know, when the baby's born, a newborn does not have their immune system working, probably for, many weeks. So in the meantime, mother gives the antibodies through the colostrum, the pre-milk, but then the breast milk has at least 6 of the sugars, and I can guess which ones they are, because the most often that we see, glucose and galactose, are probably going to go through the breast milk anyway.
Right.
And so they get the other ones. And mother makes these sugars for the baby. So that's how important this is.
Yeah. They've done studies with the breastfeeding and partial bottle and full bottle.
Right.
And with the partial bottle and the full bottle, there's like otitis media, which is ear infections,
Right.
and eczema and asthma. But with the breastfed babies, the immune systems are stronger. And I remember in the 80s and 90s when we had some AIDS patients, they would tell us they wanted to find
breast milk.
women that were like wet nurses or that would donate their breast milk because they wanted so desperately. They heard that the mother's breast milk is.
And we do that now, if a baby's sick and the mother can't supply enough
Right.
milk, we get a wet nurse or we go to the milk banks, the leche milk banks, and get the milk.
It's that valuable.
It's
so
that valuable.
That's why we want to talk about glycans and glyconutritionals. And not everybody, there's a few companies that will talk about it. You have
few? I would say just one that I know of.
Yeah, not many. But again, it's important to our lifestyle. It's not that we mandate. If you want safe, rapid fat loss, if you want to kill your cravings, if you want to never be hungry because you're losing fat, if you want to be energetic, if you want to think smart, if you want to have, amazing positive moods, and you want to digest, absorb, and eliminate minimum of 3 times a day, then that's the elimination part. Then it's really important that you do supplement when you do our lifestyle.
Yeah.
So do your homework.
And the other thing is, which I didn't mention, is the green harvest is another reason why we don't get enough of our glycans or any vitamins and minerals, because they pick everything green, sometimes a year or 2 before you see it. They gas them and put them in those giant bins, and then they send them off in trucks to apples. Yeah. I mean, we get fruits and vegetables that have, because we don't live off our own orchards anymore, where we just go and pick it ripe off the vine. It's falling off the vine. Oh, and you get your tomato and you go and eat it. It's enriched with and loaded with everything you need.
Right.
It's loaded with.
I remember my mom had the
everything.
Tomato patches.
Yes.
And then us kids would get into the tomato patch, and we would be picking those worms.
Yeah.
Remember the worms?
Oh,
They're
they were
that
fat
big,
and juicy.
fat, and they have horns.
Yes.
And then they spit at you, right? So me and my twin sister were trying to pick those, and my mother, a German woman from Iowa, she'd look outside the window and, "You better not be picking those tomatoes. You wait till God's finished.
Yeah.
If you pick my tomatoes, I'm going to break your arm."
Yeah.
She was a lovely woman.
Yeah.
Also,
Gentle.
we have in the book under Nutrify, you'll be able to learn about all the other supplements that
we recommend.
We want you to learn about them. We will, talk about them from time to time, because it's important that you know about this. This is how you survive on an alien planet, because from what we see and hear all the time, things are getting tough out there with people and their health. And what you were saying,
and we're deficient.
Well, what you were saying about the infertility situation, because the sperm can't find the egg without these essential saccharides.
That's right.
I already know a couple of 28, 29, and 30-year-olds that have to set up appointments with their fertility specialists because they're not as fertile as they should be. Okay?
They should be. They should be looked at and get pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, at their age.
Okay, that's another podcast.
Or get it off the toilets.
No, we're not going there. We're not going there. Okay. See,
but I got pregnant off the toilet seat.
Did you hear that in high school?
Oh.
All the time. I don't know how that happened. So, what we do want to talk about is, first of all, our book. We're excited about our book. This was a year venture.
Year?
Well, writing and putting it together.
Wasn't it 2 years?
Maybe.
I think it was 2 years.
I lost time.
1 year to write it.
Right. Yeah, and then edit it. Okay, so it's a 2-year thing, but it's been going on for a long time. We're excited about this because it's in Amazon. It's on Amazon, and it's in Kindle form. It's on Barnes and Noble now, and it's on our website, which is fleshyourfatforgood.com. And if you get it off our website, you get a free food combining chart. But if you do Amazon and you like the book, we hope you like the book, and we're really wanting you to put a review up there for us because we greatly appreciate it.
And if you're a Prime member, you know you get free shipping, so that's always a plus.
But I have to tell you, we're so pleased with our endorsements from people. The great Bob Proctor. We have incredible endorsements in here. I think all you guys, when you read the book, you're going to be greatly impressed by the people that actually went through the book and endorsed this for us.
Yes. We're very proud.
And our goal
grateful.
is to get this book around the world. Okay, we're not just two little girls that wrote a little book. We are really
We're 3 girls.
3 girls.
Kathleen
because
Powell.
Kathleen Powell.
If we didn't have her, we would have never had this put together.
Yes.
Trust me.
Because she has a whip, and she knew we wanted to write a book.
We're going to take that whip away from her.
We are. We were desperately trying to put the book together and do everything else and try to work our program with everybody.
Yeah, so she helped
us.
us.
She knew we wanted, and Kathleen Powell and her sister, Jennifer Powell, have both lost 100 pounds each.
Yeah.
And they were so impressed with what happened to them in their life. But Kathleen said, you guys, I know you want to write a book. And we said, yeah, we're desperately trying to put that together.
We're going to do that.
She goes, well, I want to help you do it. So Kathleen
thank you.
is a major person here on this book. But what I'm saying is this book, we want eventually to have in different languages. We want it to go around the world. We actually have people in the UK now ordering on Amazon.
And Netherlands.
We're in the Netherlands, right, South Africa. We're in Canada.
Yep.
But obesity is out of control, and now it's called globesity. So we want you guys to at least get the book, and please give us a review. We just love it to death. And also let us know that you did so we can get to know you. And when you join Flush Your Fat for Good, you go to our website, and it's best to do a VIP member first so that you can see all the 23 videos. You can, the website has a lot to offer, and we have our philosophy on there. We have recipes on there. We are cooking in the kitchen in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a wealth of information in there, and you can get the whole story, the recipes, everything. With the VIP membership.
And there'll be some discounts on events and things. We also have a starter kit. When you go into the storefront, we have starter kit 1 and 2. Starter kit 1 involves the workbook. This is when I work with my clients, they have to have this. I like starter kit 1 to get them started with. I tell them, go order starter kit 1, and then I want you to get the book, because this solidifies.
Yeah, this is the reference.
This is the religion, physical religion. The Bible for Christians, that is the spiritual religion, right? the spiritual book.
That's the reference.
That's the reference. This is the physical Bible right here.
This goes on your library shelf.
Right.
For a reference.
And the workbook is when I work with my clients, I say you have to get starter kit number 1 because I'm going to take you through the workbook, and then I help them go to Trader Joe's. We actually have a shopping list here that I just love. That's part of it. The starter kit 1. You get a low glycemic fruit and vegetable chart, so it's easy. You just pull this out or put it on your kitchen. You go, oh, okay, I can have that, but I can't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's a partial list, but at least it's
good
common,
enough. There's
common
a lot.
Foods, yes.
This is Day at a Glance. So this is, I always call it health by design, not by default. What does that mean? That means default is when you're doing shortcuts and because you don't know what to do and you're hungry, so you go through McDonald's or you just grab a bagel or whatever. But
Chips.
this is a whole thing, Day at a Glance, that I do myself.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all cool. Then we have charts.
Food
Charts are
combining.
cool. Yeah, this is the food combining chart. So
Nice.
when you get the book, you get a free food combining chart. And
On the website,
yeah, off the website.
not on Amazon.
No. But Savannah, my daughter, was looking on food combining charts, and she showed me some of them, and I said, no, some of those aren't correct, what is this? We just have, same thing. So now then also you get the GLA and the CLA. GLA is gamma-linolenic acid, which is an essential fatty acid, and this helps to stimulate the brown fat to burn the white fat. And the white fat is the adipose tissue that you want to get rid of. It also makes your skin glow.
So good for your skin.
I noticed
So
it.
good for your eyes.
People are saying that too. They're
your
going,
hair, your
oh my
nails.
God, my husband said my skin looks glowing.
Yes.
CLA is conjugated linoleic acid, another essential fatty acid. We want you to be on these. And the recommendation is on the back how to take them. But this prevents the enlargement of your fat cells, helps to break up your fat cells, and it also establishes lean muscle mass. Ta-da.
Hello.
So, you want your muscles.
She's my bodyguard.
You want your muscles to be strong and healthy. Number 1, you burn fat in your muscles, but also it holds up your skeletal structure. You don't want to be like this, Especially it pushes your gut out.
And CLA, we should be getting that in our diets, but we don't because they give the chickens grains.
Right.
They shouldn't be eating grains. They should be eating bugs. They give
the cows.
The cows should be grass-fed. The animals that we eat should be grass-fed,
Right.
And they're not. And so therefore we have been lacking on our CLA.
80% of people that eat the meats.
And it helps you build muscle mass, and it helps you with your bone density too.
Right. But 80% of our country, probably all over the world now, because they're practicing giving the cows grains. You have to look for grass-fed
or pasture raised.
Pasture raised. Yeah. When you buy eggs, I hate it when they say.
Oh yeah, there's that one commercial. They say, "Oh, our eggs are organic, and they're in the grass, and you don't see any chickens." And they say, our chickens are vegetarian."
Right.
And I'm like,
why?
that's wrong. They're not. They're carnivorous. They should be eating bugs.
I was raised on a
vegetarian.
farm. I never saw a chicken eat like little flowers.
If they're vegetarian raised, you don't want those eggs.
No, you want them to eat the bugs, and you want them to eat. There's grains on the ground too. They'll eat that, but you want them to eat. You want them pasture raised.
Yes.
But anyway, the conjugated linoleic acid (CLA) and the GLA is really essential for fat loss. And these play a real important role with not appetite suppressant, but it helps you to.
It does that too.
Yeah, in a healthy way.
And especially in the winter, if you're on those, you're gonna keep yourself in a good place with your weight.
And your skin moisturized.
Right. It helps so much.
So on our website also we have our coaching course.
Oh yeah.
That is 7 modules. This is something we have spent months on.
Years,
so
are
that
you
we
kidding?
could, well, putting it
Blood,
together.
sweat, and tears. You're not, and money.
No, it's serious. It's really serious, and there's an exam after each one. But you become so knowledgeable in an area that you couldn't find a school to teach it all to you.
It's real nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
It's from my clinical years in practice with patients, her experience. And at the end, you answer the questions, and you can retake it if you miss them. You can retake the tests in each module, and then at the end, you get a certificate that you can print out.
And I'll tell you what, if you have that certificate after a while, people are going to say, oh, you took the Flush Your Fat for Good course, the coaching course, because they're going to know that you know just about everything in this book and beyond. So we're very proud of that. That coaching course is something that if you're a VIP member, you get $50 off. So
And
it's a
great
you have
deal.
3 months to do it, but honest to God, if you want to be in charge of your life,
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Here's
It's not to necessarily coach anybody.
no,
It's to coach yourself, really.
right, or
And
your loved ones.
And to be successful with this understanding. If you go through this and you're starting it and you're doing it and you're going, my God, I feel better. What's going on here? You might want to take the coaching course and find out why it's working.
But if you have somebody like a loved one in your family,
Right.
if you don't have much to lose, but your husband or your wife does, or your kids, you're worried about your kids,
Yes.
you can do this with them. We have phase 1 and phase 2, and you buddy with them.
Buddy
so
up.
when
We
you
have
join
buddies.
our Facebook page, it's a private Facebook page. You answer a few questions and you're let in.
Flush
But-
Your Fat for Good Buddies Facebook page.
Right. And you buddy with them because it's strength in numbers. And this way you really enjoy yourself. You're eating the same. It's a lot of food, trust me. And you're never starving, you're never going hungry, but you really are helping each other. And when you take the coaching course, we call it a coaching course because we want our coaches to know all of this. But you're allowed to take it as well to educate yourself. And this will help you to be a better buddy to your loved ones, to your friend, your family, neighbor, whatever.
And we've found over the years that people who get certified as a coach, they are very extremely successful and adapt the lifestyle because they're understanding. Education,
Right.
gives you the knowledge and the wherewithal to continue doing it and knowing why.
Let me say one last thing.
Okay.
The supplements that we recommend, we have criteria as to the kind of supplements we want you to be on, and that's talked about in the book. We want high quality
Highest quality.
and effective supplements. So you will learn about that in the book.
Bioavailable, which
Yeah.
can only come from food.
Yeah. And we would love to meet with you and see you in our Facebook page
And join us.
and join us. And
Be a buddy. Be a newbie. We call
Yeah.
you a newbie.
so we want to thank you for joining us. This is Flush Your Fat for Good. Be lean and healthy for life. And until next week, God bless.
Bye-bye. Take care.
You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.